Why is your house rotting after 30 years, while this 600-year-old wall survived a massive earthquake without a single crack? Most people think it's just stone and luck. They are wrong. Look around at our modern world. We build with high-grade steel, reinforced glass, and high-performance concrete designed in some of the most advanced laboratories on the planet. Yet, even our most celebrated skyscrapers require constant, expensive maintenance just to keep them from falling apart. Bridges crumble, roads crack, and the very foundations of our cities begin to fail within a human lifetime. We have mastered the atom and reached the stars, yet we struggle to build a sidewalk that lasts a single century. We live in an era of planned obsolescence, where even our greatest structures are designed with an expiration date, destined to be replaced by the next generation of materials that will, inevitably, fail just as quickly. But in the rugged, unforgiving mountains of northern China, there is a monument that defies the very laws of decay and the cycle of modern destruction. Stretching over 13,000 miles across jagged peaks, shifting sands, and treacherous valleys, the Great Wall of China is an engineering miracle that stands as a silent challenge to our modern arrogance. It has survived the brutal, bone-chilling winters of the north, where temperatures drop far below freezing, and the scorching, arid summers of the Gobi, where the sun bakes the earth into a hard, cracked shell. It has stood for centuries as a sentinel, weathering the shifting of tectonic plates, the relentless erosion of the wind, and the countless bloody invasions of history. It is a structure of such immense scale that it was once thought to be the only man-made object visible from the moon, a dragon of stone sleeping across the back of an empire. For hundreds of years, the world's leading architects and material scientists were humiliated by this structure. They studied the chemistry of the stones, looking for hidden resins, rare minerals, or volcanic ash similar to the pozzolana, secret ingredients the Romans used in their famous concrete. They tested the mortar for magic, searching the earth's crust for a mineral that simply didn't exist in the geological record. They looked at the Ming Dynasty sections, the parts of the wall that remain so hard they can resist the strike of a modern steel pickaxe, and they were baffled. How could a civilization without modern chemistry, without computer modeling, and without industrial factories create a binder stronger than the stones themselves? They were looking for a geological miracle, a rare stone, or a forgotten element, but they were looking in the wrong place. They missed the most important ingredient because they simply couldn't believe it was possible. The truth wasn't buried in the earth, it was prepared in a kitchen. Today, we finally have the answer to why the wall remains indestructible, and it's hidden in your kitchen cabinet. The secret isn't a mineral, it's a meal. The implications of this are staggering. We often view history as a linear progression of technology, assuming that because we have digital tools, we are superior builders. But the Ming Dynasty engineers understood a fundamental principle that we have forgotten: the power of organic and inorganic hybrids. They didn't just build a wall, they grew a structure. They utilized a biological technology that created a living bond between the cold, dead stones. As we walk these ramparts today, we aren't just looking at ancient history. We are looking at a masterclass in materials science that survived for 600 years because it worked with nature, not against it. In fact, modern restoration teams who tried to fix the Great Wall with modern cement in the 1970s learned this lesson the hard way. They found that the new, stiff cement was actually too strong for the ancient, softer bricks. Because the cement didn't flex, it forced the ancient bricks to take all the stress, causing them to crack and fall away. The superior modern technology was destroying the history it was meant to save. It was like trying to repair a silk dress with steel wire. The materials were fundamentally incompatible because the modern engineers had forgotten the importance of flexibility and organic harmony. They eventually realized their mistake and had to go back to the 600-year-old rice recipe. They had to learn from the ancient masons to ensure the repairs would actually hold. This realization forced a paradigm shift in conservation science. Sometimes, the new way is actually the wrong way. The ancients understood something about the spirit of materials that we lost in our rush for industrial efficiency. They built for the next 1,000 years, we build for the next quarterly report. We need to reevaluate our relationship with the materials we use to build our world, moving away from the brittle and the temporary toward the resilient and the eternal. The Great Wall's sticky secret is proof that our ancestors were far more advanced in material science than we realized. They were working with nanostructures and biocomposites centuries before those words even existed. They didn't have computers or laboratories, but they had observation and time. They understood that the strongest bonds are often those that mimic life itself. Today, this ancient discovery is inspiring a new generation of bioconstruction. Material scientists are now studying amylopectin and other organic binders like seaweed, blood, and even bacteria to develop eco-friendly, carbon-neutral concrete. The modern cement industry is one of the world's largest polluters, responsible for nearly 8% of global CO2 emissions. It is an industry based on high heat, high carbon processes that are increasingly unsustainable. But by looking to the past, we may find a way to build cities that are not only stronger, but also in harmony with the planet. We are experimenting with self-healing concrete that uses bacteria to fix its own cracks, much like the rice mortar filled the microscopic gaps in the Ming Dynasty walls. We are exploring how to use plant-based polymers to replace petroleum-based additives. We are moving toward a future where our buildings are not just dead piles of stone and steel, but organic and organic hybrids. Imagine a city that grows stronger as it ages, a city where the buildings can absorb carbon from the air and heal their own wounds. This isn't science fiction, it is the logical conclusion of the path started by the Ming Dynasty engineers 600 years ago. They showed us that a building can be a meal, that construction can be an extension of agriculture, and that the strongest structures are those that bridge the gap between the mineral and the biological. We are just beginning to scratch the surface of what the ancients knew, and the potential for our future is limitless. The Great Wall stands as a testament to the power of combining nature with technology. It reminds us that the most advanced solutions are often the ones we've known for thousands of years. By looking back 600 years, we haven't just found a secret ingredient, we've found a blueprint for the future. We can build cities that last for millennia. We can build structures that breathe. We can build a world that, like the Great Wall, stands defiant against the passage of time. The secrets of our past are truly the technology of tomorrow. If you found this dive into the hidden chemistry of history fascinating, subscribe to Science Fact Hub. We are on a mission to uncover the ancient wisdom that will power our future.